Hello and welcome. Let's talk about one of the most stressful parts of the IELTS exam, the reading section. It feels like the clock is always ticking, right? And the texts can be, well, they can be pretty complicated. But don't you worry. Today, we're going to go over 3 pro tips that'll help you read faster, understand more, and really beat that clock. So let's get right into it.
Does this sound familiar? You're reading along, feeling that time pressure, and suddenly you hit a word you have never seen before. It happens to everyone. These are probably the 2 biggest fears for test takers, but today we're going to learn the strategies to solve them. In this explainer, we're going to learn 3 amazing tips. And these aren't just any tips. They're designed to help you handle the challenges of both time and vocabulary, so you can walk into that IELTS reading test feeling a whole lot more confident. Now, here's something really interesting. The test is actually designed for you to find words you don't know. It's totally normal. You see, the examiners want to see more than just your vocabulary. They want to see how you handle this exact situation. So, step 1, the most important thing you can do is just stay calm. It's an expected part of the test. So, what do you do when you see a word you don't recognize? You become a detective. That's right, a detective. You don't need a dictionary. Our first strategy is all about using context clues. That means the words and sentences around the unknown word to guess its meaning. This is a huge skill that shows the examiner you can figure things out on your own. Okay, let's look at an example with the word origami. The text never just says origami is. Nope, we have to be detectives. So, in step 1, we find a clue in paragraph A. It mentions the exact shapes of folding paper. Okay, so it's about folding paper. Then in step 2, we look at paragraph B, and it talks about a specific type, the mura-ori fold. A fold is, when you bend paper. So we put these 2 clues together, and we can be pretty sure that origami is the art of paper folding. See? No dictionary necessary. So the big takeaway here is this. When you find a word you don't know, just don't panic. Keep reading. The text itself will give you the clues you need to get the general meaning. This is a skill, and the more you practice it, the stronger your reading will get. All right, let's move on to our second pro tip. This is a reading skill called skimming. And let me tell you, this technique is your secret weapon for a question type called matching headings. That's where you have to find the main idea of every paragraph, and you've got to do it fast. And to do that, we use something called the sandwich method. I love this. Think of a paragraph just like a sandwich. The first sentence, that's your top bun. It usually introduces the main idea. The last sentence is the bottom bun. It often summarizes everything. And all that stuff in the middle, that's the meat, the details and examples. For matching headings, you can save a ton of time by just focusing on the bread. So, what does this mean for you? It means to find that main idea quickly, you just read the bread of the paragraph, the very first and the very last sentences. By ignoring all those details in the middle, you show the examiner that you understand how an argument is structured. This is the secret to working fast. Let's try it with paragraph B. The first sentence introduces the mura-ori fold. Okay, the last sentence tells us why it's important. It helps reduce the size of equipment sent into space. So if we just combine those 2 ideas, what do we get? The main idea is that the mura-ori fold is a technique for making equipment smaller for space travel. Super fast and really effective. But a quick warning, watch out for the sandwich trap, especially with introduction and conclusion paragraphs. In an introduction, the very first sentence is often just a hook to get your attention. It might say something broad like, humans have always been fascinated by space. That's not the main idea. The second sentence is probably where the real topic is. And for conclusions, the last sentence often looks to the future, like more research is needed. So for a conclusion, the first sentence is usually a much better summary of the paragraph's main point. Okay, time for our third and final tip, which is scanning. Now, this is a totally different skill from skimming. Scanning is what you want to use for matching features questions, the ones where you have to find specific details like a person's name, a date, or a key term really, really quickly. Let me say this again, because it's so important. Scanning is not reading. You are not reading for meaning. Think of it like a word search puzzle. Your eyes should be moving fast, just flying over the text, hunting for one specific word or name that you're looking for. So this is what a matching features question looks like. You've got a list of people and a list of statements about what they did or said. Your job is to connect the right person to the right statement. Scanning is how you can do this without having to read the entire passage all over again. And here's how you do it, in 3 easy steps. First, pick an anchor word from the question.
A unique name is perfect for this, like Koreomura. Second, you run your eyes over the text looking only for that name. Ignore every other word. Then, third, when your eyes land on the name, you stop. Now you slow down and just read that one sentence around it to find your answer.
Let's give it a try. We're scanning for Koreomura. Our eyes move over the page, and there it is. Now we stop and read. The text says he's the inventor of a technique used for space. Okay, now we look at our list of options, and boom, that information perfectly matches the statement that he pioneered a specific technique that allows large materials to be compacted for space travel. We found it in just a few seconds.
So there you have it, 3 really powerful techniques to help you master the IELTS reading exam. The real key is knowing which tool to use for which type of question. Now it's your turn to start practicing and build that confidence. So, here's your cheat sheet to remember. If you have an unknown word, your solution is to use context clues. If you're facing a matching headings question, your solution is to skim using the sandwich method. And if you have a matching features question, you go on a word hunt and you scan. Simple as that. By really mastering these skills, you can stop worrying about the clock and start answering questions with both speed and accuracy. These aren't just little tricks. They are professional reading strategies. And with practice, you can absolutely conquer the IELTS reading test. Good luck.